mask, goggles. Yep, today's the day. Welcome back to Bucket List Homestead and my kitchen. Though we're not going to be cooking or baking anything today, and we'll get to that in just a second. But first, I just wanted to take a few seconds to thank all of you for your incredibly kind comments from Saturday's video, the Let's Chat video, where I gave you a little bit of update on what's going on. You all are the best. You really are. Just thank you so much. You've all been so encouraging, so kind. Yeah, I have the best friends on YouTube. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It really meant the world to me. It actually caused me to tear up a little bit. So yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now, today's video, I am so excited to finally check this off. One of my to-do lists I have wanted to learn for quite a few years. And truth be told, I've had a lot of the supplies for almost 2 years. And this is certainly a skill that I believe is important for myself, especially to add to my skill set of skills, and that is soap making. I have wanted to make soap for so long, but I was a bit intimidated. There is a lot of math and science that goes into soap making. That's not going to be that kind of video. I am not going to give you the whole why it happens, what makes the lye in the water combined with the fat, blah, 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 soapification, all that. You're not going to get that from me because it's a lot. Honestly, it makes my brain hurt. I'm just going to take you through the steps of what I learned from my amazing friend Holly, who is our leader, our originator of our Women in Homesteading group. She is the one who kicked it off. She did a class at one of our meetings a couple weeks ago on simple soap making with just 3 ingredients, and I knew immediately this is what I wanted to share with you. She gave me her blessing to share her recipe with all of you so you all can try soap making. It's very simple, and when I'm telling you it's simple, you can believe it's simple. It really is just 3 ingredients. There are a couple of things you do need though. One of them is we are going to need a mask. I'm not wearing my glasses today, so I have goggles. I have some gloves. I'm wearing long sleeves, a thermometer, and a scale, as you'll be weighing out these 3 ingredients. All my ingredients are already weighed out. I will give you the recipe, no problem. It'll be linked down below. Plus, I'll tell you as we go along. But just to save us some time, I've already got things pre-measured. And as this is literally my first time making soap, I wanted to make sure I had everything measured correctly, because sometimes filming something for the first time, measuring and everything, I can make mistakes, and I didn't want to do that with this today. So one of the ingredients we're going to be using is tallow, lard. I do want to share with you though a slideshow I made for you all explaining why tallow is so incredibly good for us. Using pork tallow because that's what I have a lot of, and it's actually what I prefer. I find beef tallow, no matter how many times you strain it, still has a bit of a beefy smell for me, but I don't find that with my leaf lard that I made myself, that I just rendered down, and I actually put it into loaf pans, and then froze it until I needed it. Making soap it's not only for health, but it's also something one less thing I have to buy from either the store or somebody else. And that's important to us. That's one thing we are really trying hard to focus on this year is being a little less reliant on purchasing things. I thought we were really good, but when I really broke down how much things we were still purchasing, it kind of blew my mind. So we're really trying to focus and see just how much we are going to save this year on not purchasing things we don't have to and only focusing on the things we have to. I'm also treating my garden very much like that this year, focusing more on growing things that we truly eat. Maybe not so many things that are pretty or fun to grow. There might be one or two things I'm still gonna do that's fun, but I'm really focusing hard on growing what I can either can, freeze dry, dehydrate, or freeze this year. So this is why I'm excited to make soap, because I really think it's going to be not only good for us physically, but financially too. As I said, everything is already weighed out. I'm just gonna open my door to get some ventilation going, and we're ready to start mixing our ingredients. So hopefully you can hear me through this mask. I'm all ready, my door's open to make sure it's well ventilated. Going forward, this is probably something I'm gonna try and get a lot done in the summer, but you know, it's winter, I have no choice. So I'm all protected. Now, everything I'm using today is going to be glass. That's very important. You don't want to use tin or aluminum or plastic, as that can cause reactions with the lye, and it can also, plastic can melt when you're using lye. Everything I purchased, I got at the thrift store, because these are going to be, sorry, Roy is going crazy out there. These are going to be things I'm going to use just for my soap making going forward. So yeah, a thrift store was great, and I got some nice glass pieces that I'll be able to use for my soap making. Everything has already been pre-measured. In my glass pitcher here, that yes, I got at the dollar store, I have 124 grams of unchlorinated water. This is my lye. This is 51.5 grams of lye. And we're gonna pour this in. And we're gonna stir to dissolve. This is the part that is the scariest, I think, for soap making for most people, at least for me. It was using the lye. So we're just gonna stir this until it's dissolved. And this is gonna become very hot. So we're just gonna leave it. So like I said, we're just gonna leave this to do its thing. My door is open, and we're gonna go over to the stove and melt our lard. So in my pot, I have it not quite half filled with water. Another glass bowl I got at my thrift store. I have in here 397 grams of lard, and we're gonna bring this, we're gonna melt it. We want our lard to be 132 degrees Fahrenheit. So we want our lard to 132, I am so sorry, that rooster is being very annoying today. We want our lard to be 132 Fahrenheit, and we want our lard, yes, our lye solution to get down to 115. Right now, our lye is 150. So we need that to get down to 115 degrees. Okay. So while we're waiting for the lard to get to temperature, the lye has come down another 10 degrees, so we're in the right direction. Another thing you're gonna need is some kind of mold to pour this in. This is just a silicone mold that I actually picked up at Hobby Lobby a couple of summers ago that was clearanced. And you're gonna wanna line, even if you use a bread loaf pan, obviously that's gonna be a pan you're gonna just set aside for soap. You'll wanna line it with plastic wrap, and I've got it going this way and this way, both directions, so that's very important. It really helps it peel off easier and come out of your mold. Parchment tends to stick to the soap, is what Holly told me, so make sure you want to use plastic wrap. You're also going to need towels and a piece of cardboard. We'll get to why in a minute. Now, some things you're gonna notice maybe about lard soap is that when we do go to blend it, it may not get to the same thickness you're used to with maybe other fats, but Holly said that's okay. It will turn out perfect after it has set in the end. So I am so excited, I can't wait. The lard's taken a while to melt. I am gonna say I'm starting to get a little nervous. I hope this doesn't reach temperature before that does. So fingers crossed. The other thing you're gonna need is an immersion blender. I just picked this up real cheap for $10 off of Amazon. So if I can still find it, I'll link it down below for you all. I didn't want to use my KitchenAid one. You can clean it and then put it, you know, aside for 30 days and then it's safe to use again. But I use my immersion blender way too often. One, to wait 30 days, and I'd rather just have one that, you know, didn't cost me a lot of money just for soap making. And I hope you can hear me through this. I'll be able to take this off soon. I just have to wait for this to finish doing its thing before it's considered safe. Okay, our lye mixture is at temperature, but this is still just a couple of degrees too hot. I'm hoping it's gonna cool down. So as you can see, I transferred the melted lard down into a big bucket. This is a food grade bucket that I just picked up from our bulk food store. And I've taken off my mask because it's no longer too bad, and I've closed my door because I know it's safe now. And you want to add, perfect, the lard or the lye mixture to the lard, not the other way around. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. And now we're going to start blending. This is also where, if you wanted to, this is where you would start adding any essential oils or anything. I have just a little bit of chamomile oil that I made myself. I'm just gonna add just the smallest amount, maybe a teaspoon and a half. And we're just gonna start blending. Okay, so that was 3 minutes. I'm just gonna get this off of here. And we're gonna pour this into our mold. The only reason I put it into a bucket is because my bowl was not very deep and I was worried it splashing up, but if you have a very deep bowl, then you don't have to worry about it. Ooh, look at that. Okay, we're gonna try and get all of that out. This also lets me know that I probably could have doubled this recipe to fill this mold right up thick. But first time, you know, we're just seeing how it goes. Set that aside a minute. Okay, now I'm going to tap the air bubbles out. Cover with some cardboard. I'm just using one of Aiden's peanut butter cracker boxes that I cut. And we are going to cover this with a towel, if I can. I don't know if I'm going to be able to wrap it around. I don't think I can pick that up and wrap it around without making a mess. So I'm just going to put a couple of towels over it. And this helps it not cool down so fast. It will help it gradually cool, which is what we want. And then I'm going to put another one this way. So that sits for 24 hours, like I said. So this is going to be a 2-part video. I will see you back here tomorrow after that has set for 24 hours. I'm going to go clean up all my tools right away and put them away into a spot so none of the family uses them thinking they're for food. We'll see you tomorrow. Fingers crossed this comes out. Well, friends, it has been 24 hours since we poured our soap into the mold. Let's see if it came out, and we're going to slice it. I do have this fancy dancy little soap cutter. This one will make it just a little bit fancier, a little bit rippled cut, but you can use anything to cut. I also have a plain straight edge one, or even if you have a knife or a scraper, that's the word I'm looking for, a metal scraper, that would probably work too. So, but first we need to get it out of the mold and see if it's set up. We're going to take off the towels. Might have a 1 or 2 bubbles, but that's not too bad. We're gonna take this out. Oh, I was really worried it was gonna be really thin, but that's actually a lot thicker than I thought. And I do wish I had sprinkled some chamomile flowers on the top. I forgot, but okay. Let's see how it slices. Oh wow, that sliced beautifully. So I think I'm obviously going to go a little bit bigger. So we'll go here. And there we go. So we have to let this cure for 30 days. I actually have a rack I'm going to put it on, and you need to rotate often during those 30 days. I can smell a little bit of chamomile, but not a lot, but okay, that actually cut quite easily. And as you can see, this is why you need to cure it. It's still kind of wet in there. I'm just going to use one of my cookie, and I have a shelf over in my store that I'm going to keep it on. That way I'll see it and remember to rotate. But there we go. We have 1, 2, 3 good size bars and 2 smaller size bars of soap. So now we're going to break down how much this cost me to make these 6 bars. So we're not just making this soap to make it better for our bodies and to make it better physically. We're also trying to do this to help save on our budget. So what did it cost us to make these 6 bars of soap? Now, to get set up, I'm going to give you the cost of what it cost me to buy everything, including the glassware I got at the thrift store, the immersion blender, everything. By the way, I cannot find an immersion blender to link down below for the same price that I paid for this one. It looks like there is not one for $10 anywhere anymore, but I'm sure you could find one at a thrift store or a marketplace, or, you know, it is an investment. You know, you buy it once and then you have it forever. So I think the cheapest I seen, at least on the Canadian Amazon, was 30 something. So still not terrible, but certainly not the deal that I got. But so everything to buy to start soap making, it costs me $28.50. Now, I don't have to buy the mold again. I have enough lye to do probably over 100 batches of soap. I got a 1 pound, I believe it is, 1 pound container. So I don't have to buy the soap cutter again. I don't have to buy that mold again. I don't have to buy my immersion blender again. I have enough lye for quite a while, so I don't have to buy all those things again. So my next batch will be even cheaper. But these 6 bars, when I break it down, I'm not including the cost of the mold, because again, I'll be able to use that again. I did get that mold for $2 though, so I mean, that's a pretty good deal. And so just in ingredients, in lye, and my chamomile oil, which I made myself, and the lard, which was free because I got it when I got my pig order, so I didn't have to pay for the lard. Just cost me some time and you know, melting it down to make tallow. It cost me a little less than 5 cents a bar. 5 cents a bar for good quality, handmade, healthy soap. That is insane savings. It's not cheap to get good quality handmade soap. So 5 cents, will I be making more? Absolutely. I am going to be making more. I'm going to be experimenting with some essential oils, some of my own oils I've made, some dried dehydrated flowers, and eventually freeze-dried herbs and flowers. Foraging too, I know you could go get cedar. That would be beautiful in this, and especially for men, that smell would be amazing and would be so pretty to have a little sprig of cedar on top of a soap. So yes, we will definitely be making again. It wasn't nearly as scary as I thought it was going to be, kind of right up there with pressure canning. Once I did the first time, I'm like, why was this so intimidating? This was insanely easy. Thank you, Holly, so much for sharing your recipe and allowing me to share this with everybody here. I definitely think if you've been on the fence about trying to make soap, definitely use this recipe, and I'll link it down below. And I think you won't be nearly as nervous to make it a second time. Until then, friends, take care, God bless, and we'll see you all soon.